Welcome to OOTO Television, the out-of-the-office investigation from the past into the future of health. This time we're discussing the potential of herbal remedies for parasitic and pancreatic health.
Hello there and welcome. It's great to be diving into this today. We're really embarking on quite an exciting investigation. It's where the wisdom of the garden really meets modern medicine.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to look at how some pretty remarkable herbal remedies have, well, just immense potential for both parasitic and pancreatic health.
And we're drawing on, centuries of traditional use, but also some really solid, verifiable scientific proof it's not just folklore.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
We'll explore how these powerful plants, they've been used effectively for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years.
Yeah.
Tackling parasitic infections, supporting pancreatic wellness.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is that a lot of conventional drugs, the ones you get prescribed for parasites, they're actually derived from these very plants and herbs.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. It opens up this exciting possibility, doesn't it? That maybe with the right education and practice, you could actually cultivate your own little apothecary.
Right from your garden. It's a pretty empowering thought.
So our journey today, we'll start by sort of demystifying parasites a bit. What are they? How do they impact us? And also this interesting idea that maybe not all of them are, the bad guys.
Right. Then we'll dive into some specific herbal powerhouses, like eugenol, that's from clove, and the ancient warrior wormwood. And we've got solid research to back that up.
For sure. We'll also touch on a whole host of other herbal allies, things like black walnut, oregano oil. Then we'll broaden out, look at holistic support, detox, gut health, diet, super important stuff.
And finally, we'll switch gears a little. Take a look at things from a pharmaceutical perspective. We'll discuss ivermectin, which is, a powerful drug in its own right, but it comes with its own story, and some really crucial caveats we need to cover.
Definitely. So let's kick things off. Let's tackle parasites. It's a topic that makes some people maybe a bit squeamish, but it's important.
Yeah.
What exactly are we talking about when we say parasite?
Yeah, good question. Basically, parasites are organisms. They live on or sometimes inside another organism, the host, and they feed off that host, often, at the host's expense. It's a huge world out there, mostly unseen.
And it's way more common to encounter them than people generally realize, right?
Oh, absolutely. And these invaders, sometimes microscopic, sometimes not so microscopic. They come in different types.
Huh?
First up, you've got protozoa.
Okay, protozoa.
These are tiny, single-celled organisms. Think microscopic opportunists. They can multiply really fast inside your body. A famous one is Plasmodium. That's what causes malaria.
Great malaria.
But then there are others like Blastocystis homies and Dientamoeba fragilis. These are actually quite common in our guts. And interestingly, they're sometimes called pathobionts.
Pathobionts. What does that mean exactly?
It means they can kind of live there without causing issues, but they can become problematic if your gut environment, your internal ecosystem, gets out of balance.
Ah, okay. So context matters. It's not always just about the bug itself.
Precisely. Then you have the helminths. These are the multicelled worm parasites, the ones people are maybe more familiar with thinking about.
Like roundworms and tapeworms.
Exactly. Roundworms, pinworms, tapeworms, flukes. And one to be aware of, especially if you eat pork, is Trichinella spiralis, often linked to undercooked meat.
Good to know. And the third type.
That's the ectoparasites. Ecto meaning outside, so these live on the host. Think lice, fleas, more external critters.
Okay, got it. Protozoa, helminths, ectoparasites. It's quite the range. And the ways they affect us.
Okay.
It's not always obvious, is it?
Not at all. The symptoms can be incredibly diverse. They often mimic other common problems, which makes diagnosis tricky. You might have, say, unexplained constipation, or maybe persistent diarrhea, unusual gas, IBS-type symptoms.
Things lots of people experience.
Exactly. And it can go beyond the gut, too. Chronic fatigue, for instance. Skin issues, maybe eczema, rashes that won't go away, hives, even things like recurrent UTIs can sometimes be linked.
Wow. And what about like mood or mental health?
Yeah, that too. Irritability, anxiety, even depression have been associated with parasitic activity. Or things like joint pain, grinding your teeth at night.
Teeth grinding, really.
Yep. Or feeling hungry all the time, even after you've eaten. Or things like iron deficiency anemia that doesn't seem to have another cause. It just shows how deeply they can impact your whole system.
And there's this whole toxin aspect too, right? When they feed, and especially when they die off.
Oh, absolutely crucial point. They release metabolic waste, toxins, into your body, and that's precisely why supporting your body's detoxification pathways is so vital during any kind of anti-parasitic cleanse or treatment.
You're not just fighting the invaders.
You're helping your body clean up the mess they leave behind. It really brings home that holistic view.
It reinforces that idea you mentioned earlier. A parasite infection is almost always part of a much bigger picture, some kind of disharmony, especially in the gut.
Exactly. But again, just to add that bit of nuance, remember the pathobionts like blastocystis. Not all parasites necessarily need immediate aggressive eradication. Some can live quite happily within us.
It really depends on the overall health and balance of your internal environment, doesn't it? Your gut microbiome plays a huge role.
It's all about that ecosystem balance.
You're listening to OOTO Television, with research by author Paul Bilo.
And when that balance is disrupted by problematic parasites, well, that's where the ancient wisdom of herbs really shines. It's just amazing how long these remedies have been used.
Thousands of years.
Yeah.
It's not some new age thing at all. It's rediscovering these incredibly potent natural solutions. And we absolutely must declare this. There exists truly remarkable potential of herbal remedies for both parasitic and pancreatic health.
Couldn't agree more. And a fantastic example is eugenol. That's the powerful compound you find loads of in clove.
Clove, like the spice.
Yep. More than just for baking. It's a powerhouse. Strong anti-parasitic, antifungal properties. And we actually have really compelling, verifiable proof.
Okay, tell me about the proof.
There was this groundbreaking in vitro research that means in a lab setting, like a test tube or a petri dish, they looked at eugenol's effect on Trichinella spiralis.
The one from undercooked pork.
That's one. So they cultured the mussel larvae and the adult worms, exposed them to different concentrations of eugenol, and compared it to albendazole, a standard pharma drug, and a control group.
And what happened?
The results were honestly pretty astonishing. Eugenol significantly reduced the viability, basically the ability to survive, of both the larvae and the adult worms.
Significantly.
Yeah, and it was dose-dependent and time-dependent, meaning more eugenol or more time exposed had a bigger effect. At the higher concentrations they tested, they actually achieved 100% efficacy.
100%. Wow.
For the larvae, it took between 10 and 24 hours. For the adults, within 24 hours. And that level of effectiveness was right up there, comparable to the drug albendazole.
That's incredible. Did they see how it was working?
They did. They used scanning electron microscopy SM to get really detailed images. And they saw, quote, severe destruction of both the larvae and adults.
Like what kind of destruction?
Things like the outer protective layer, the cuticle, was completely smoothed out. There were multiple blebs and vesicles, like little blisters and fissures, actual cracks on the cuticle, clear signs it was directly damaging and killing them.
Wow. So it wasn't just stopping them, it was destroying them.
Exactly. And its power isn't limited to Trichinella. Eugenol has also shown anti-inflammatory effects against Schistosoma mansoni, that's a fluke worm, and even effects against other protozoan parasites like Trypanosoma cruzi, Giardia, and Leishmania.
That's a broad range. And is it safe?
Well, the World Health Organization has declared eugenol as generally recognized as safe, GRAS, which is reassuring. Plus, it has all these other benefits: anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, analgesic, antifungal, antimicrobial.
It's amazing that something so potent is just sitting there in a spice jar.
It really is. Okay, so moving on from clove, let's talk about another heavyweight, wormwood.
The name kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it does. Historically used against parasitic worms, pinworms, roundworms, tapeworms. But it's much more than just folklore. A key compound comes from Artemisia annua, sweet wormwood. It's called artemisinin.
Artemisinin. I've heard of that from malaria.
Exactly. It's a cornerstone of modern malaria treatment, but its effectiveness actually extends to other parasitic infections too, like schistosomiasis.
And is there verifiable proof for wormwood too?
Oh, yes. There was a really interesting clinical trial done in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They looked at tea infusions made from two types of wormwood, Artemisia annua and Artemisia afra, against schistosomiasis.
A tea infusion. Simple as that.
Simple as that, and the results. The herbal teas actually cured schistosomiasis faster than the standard drug, praziquantel. 14 days for the tea versus 21 days for the drug.
Faster and any side effects.
That's the other amazing part. No adverse side effects reported with the teas. Whereas the drug often caused things like abdominal pain, headaches.
Wow. Faster and safer. That's significant.
It really is. And here's another interesting detail from that study. The Artemisia aphora species was effective even though it only contained trace amounts of artemisinin.
So it wasn't just the artemisinin.
Likely not. It suggests the whole complex mixture of phytochemicals in the plant is working together. Synergy. It's not always about isolating one single active compound.
That makes sense. Nature rarely works in isolation.
Exactly. And another study showed wormwood kills Hymenalepis nana, that's a common tapeworm, in test tubes and in lab mice. Now, it wasn't quite as strong as praziquantel on its own in that study.
But still effective.
Still effective, and that's crucial, especially with growing concerns about drug resistance. Wormwood could potentially support conventional drugs, maybe allowing for lower dosages.
Okay, now you mentioned nuance earlier. Is there a counterpoint with wormwood?
Yes, and it's important. This is that 10% contrary view. While it's clearly powerful, it's not a magic bullet for everything. For example, one study in 2021 looked at it against Candida species in mice and found no real impact.
Okay.
And historically, wormwood, or rather absinthe, which contains wormwood, got a bad rap because of severe side effects. That's linked to a compound called thujone, which can be neurotoxic in high amounts.
Ah, the absinthe connection.
Right. So the bottom line is, if you're considering wormwood, it's absolutely essential to use products that are specifically thujone-free or formulated to be safe. You want the benefits without the historical risks.
You're listening to OOTO Television with research by author Paul Bulow.
That safety aspect is key for sure. But beyond clove and wormwood, the herbal pharmacy is, well, vast. Let's talk about black walnut.
Okay, black walnut. What's its story?
It contains compounds like juglone and tannins. These are effective against various intestinal parasites like tapeworms and pinworms, but it's also got antifungal and antibacterial properties, kind of a multitasker.
Good to have broad action. What else?
Berberine. This is a compound found in several plants: golden seal, coptis, Oregon grape, barberry. Berberine is known for significant antimicrobial activity.
Against what kind of microbes?
Pretty much everything: bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, even helminths. Clinically, it's often used for things like bacterial diarrhea and intestinal parasite infections. It's really versatile.
Impressive. How about oils? I hear a lot about oregano oil.
Yes. Oregano oil is another fantastic one. It's rich in things like thymol, carvacrol, rosmarinic acid, known for being antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant.
So good for parasites, too.
Definitely. Proven helpful for clearing yeast, bacterial infections, and yes, intestinal parasites. And again, we have verifiable proof here. An in vivo study, meaning in living people.
What did that study involve?
They gave emulsified oil of oregano orally to patients who had confirmed enteric parasites, things like Blastocystis hominis, Entamoeba hartmanni, and Dolimax nana.
And the results?
Pretty compelling. After 6 weeks, Entamoeba hartmanni and Dolimax nana had completely disappeared.
Gone. Just like that.
Gone. And for Blastocystis hominis, it either disappeared entirely in 8 cases or significantly decreased in the other 3. Plus, importantly, 7 out of the 11 patients reported their gut symptoms improved.
That's a direct link between the herb and feeling better. Powerful stuff.
It really is. And related to oregano, there's thyme oil. It also contains thymol. It works by actually damaging the internal structures of parasites, inhibiting their reproduction, and disrupting their protective biofilms.
Biofilms. Those slimy layers they hide in.
Exactly. Thyme helps break those down. And the list goes on. Tea tree oil, fennel, which is good against eggs and worms and also breaks biofilms.
Okay, keep them coming.
Black cumin affects all stages of parasite life, weakens them, messes with egg laying. We mentioned clove oil already inhibits larvae, causes cell death. Ginger oil reduces parasite numbers, calms inflammation. Peppermint oil helps expel them, eases pain.
Wow, it's like a whole army of plant allies.
It really is. Myrrh oil releases nitric oxide, toxic to parasites, blocks harmful inflammation signals. Frankincense oil, also anti-inflammatory, protects organs. Chamomile oil destroys larvae and biofilms. Cinnamon oil stops larvae moving, wrecks their digestion.
Even kitchen staples.
Yes. Coconut oil, those median-chain fatty acids make it hard for parasites to cling to the gut wall. And castor oil, the classic laxative, helps literally flush them out.
It's clear that just killing parasites isn't the whole story, is it? It's about the bigger picture.
Absolutely. It's almost always part of a larger strategy. You have to improve overall gut health, support your body's systems. Like we said, a parasite infection often signals a deeper disharmony.
So restoration is key. And that brings us to detox, right?
Precisely. Supporting your natural detoxification pathways is crucial. Herbs like dandelion and milk thistle are brilliant for liver support and digestive cleansing. Red clover helps cleanse the blood.
And this connects to the pancreas, too.
Yes, definitely. We really need to state this clearly. Managing pancreas health is critical for everyone to ensure excretion of bile and toxins. The pancreas plays a key role in producing enzymes for digestion and hormones, but is also tied into bile flow, which is essential for eliminating toxins processed by the liver.
So supporting detox indirectly helps the pancreas by reducing its workload.
Exactly. These detox herbs help the body's natural elimination pathways, taking the burden off organs like the pancreas.
Makes sense. And diet. Diet must be huge during a cleanse.
Foundational. Absolutely foundational. You have to think about what you're avoiding and what you're embracing.
Okay, what needs to go?
Definitely avoid refined sugars, processed grains, processed foods in general. Alcohol, caffeine, they stress the system. Common inflammatory foods are usually at gluten, dairy, soy, corn, nightshades, eggs for many people.
And be careful with water and meat.
Yes. Avoid tap water if possible. Stick to purified. And absolutely no raw or undercooked meat or seafood, major potential sources of parasites.
Okay, so what should you eat?
Embrace fiber. Lots of good nutrients. Steamed organic veggies are great, especially non-starchy ones. Plenty of purified water. Leafy green salads with healthy fats. Think coconut oil, apple cider vinegar in the dressing. Lean protein, gluten-free grains if tolerated.
Any specific powerhouse foods?
Oh yeah. Regularly include things like apple cider vinegar, lots of green veggies or green drinks, coconut oil, manuka honey, garlic, ground chia or flax seeds for fiber, unsweetened cranberry juice, maybe some cultured dairy if tolerated, and spices like turmeric and cinnamon. These all create an environment that's less welcoming to parasites.
And what about supporting the gut lining itself? It takes a beating, right?
It really does. L-glutamine is super important here. It's fuel for the cells lining the intestines, helps prevent parasite invasion, and repairs damage from toxins.
Okay, L-glutamine. What else?
Bentonite clay. This stuff is unique. It has this negative charge that binds really well to positively charged toxins and heavy metals in the gut. It forms a sort of gel, traps them, and carries them out.
Like an internal mop.
Kind of. And vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant, protects cells from damage, supports the immune system's fight. Plus omega-3 fatty acids. Great for reducing inflammation, supporting detox pathways, and promoting a healthy immune response overall.
And we can't forget the good guys, probiotics, and prebiotics.
Absolutely essential. Whether you get them from fermented foods like sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, or a good quality supplement, restoring beneficial gut flora is critical, especially because strong antimicrobial herbs, like antibiotics, can knock out the good guys too.
And prebiotics feed them, right?
Exactly. Prebiotics are the food for your good gut bacteria, keeps them happy and thriving. And another binder that gets talked about a lot is activated charcoal.
Ah, yes, charcoal. What's that word?
It's pretty amazing, actually. It's carbon that's been superheated to make it incredibly porous. This huge surface area allows it to bind really effectively to certain toxins and gases in the stomach, preventing your body from absorbing them.
And then it just leaves the body.
Yep, it carries the bound toxins out in your feces. They say 1 teaspoon has the surface area of a football field. That's why it's used in emergency rooms for poisonings and overdoses. The WHO approves it for that.
What else is it used for?
It's great for reducing intestinal gas because it binds liquids and gases. Used in water filters, it might even help kidney function by filtering out urea toxins.
Okay, sounds impressive. But there must be a catch, right? A contrary point.
There is, and it's important. Firstly, activated charcoal doesn't bind to everything. It won't work on alcohols, iron, lithium, lye, petroleum products. Timing is also key. You generally need to take it within an hour or so, maybe up to 4 hours of ingesting a toxin for it to be effective.
So it's not a magic eraser.
No, and it's not a general detoxifier in the way people sometimes think your body has its own complex detox systems. The most crucial thing, though, is timing with other things you take.
Like medications.
Exactly, or even supplements. Because it's such a powerful binder, you absolutely must take activated charcoal at least 2 hours before or after any medications or supplements. Otherwise, it could bind to them and stop your body from absorbing them, making them ineffective.
That's a really critical warning. So using it needs careful planning.
Definitely. Now, when we put all these natural allies together, that's often where the real magic happens. Combining them can create a synergistic effect.
Make sense? Do we have examples of practical protocols?
Yes. One specific DIY protocol mentioned in the sources uses essential oils. It suggests capsules with 4 drops of oregano oil, 2 drops of clove oil, topped up with fractionated coconut oil.
How often?
1 capsule 3 times a day, preferably on an empty stomach. And for kids or people who can't swallow capsules, you can apply the oils topically over the abdomen, soles of the feet, down the spine, morning and night.
Topical application works too.
Apparently so. There's also a suggestion for a belly rub. Mix 2 drops each of clove and oregano oil with a tablespoon of castor oil. Rub it clockwise on the belly, then apply a hot water bottle for 30 minutes each night.
And how long do you follow these protocols?
The suggestion is a cycle, 21 days on, then 7 days off. Repeat as needed. It's often recommended to start about 2 days before the full moon, as parasites are thought to be more active then. You might need to do this for 3 or 4 months to really be thorough.
Catching them through their life cycles.
Exactly. And some more comprehensive protocols exist too, like the doTERRA Cleanse and Renew Kit mentioned. It typically involves a cleansing phase using a blend of oils and caprylic acid, followed by a phase focused on replenishing with prebiotics and probiotics. It's a structured approach.
That makes sense, cleanse, then rebuild. Now, you've been super enthusiastic about all these natural options.
Because the potential is genuinely exciting.
But, is there a but? A really important cautionary note.
Yes, absolutely. And this is probably the most crucial point regarding self-treatment. While we are incredibly enthusiastic, we must emphasize that these herbs and supplements that target parasites, they are powerful.
Powerful can mean potential downsides, too.
Precisely. Taking high quantities for too long can actually harm your beneficial gut microbes, just like conventional antibiotics can. Potency requires respect and knowledge. They aren't just gentle helpers, they have strong effects.
Self-treating without guidance could backfire.
It absolutely could, which is why working with a qualified practitioner like a registered nutritional therapist or a functional medicine practitioner is so important. It's almost non-negotiable for a serious protocol.
Why is that guidance so critical?
They can tailor the approach specifically to you. They understand the correct dosages, the right cycling, how long to treat, and crucially, they can help you incorporate the right prebiotics and probiotics to protect and nurture your gut microbiome throughout the process. That ensures the cleanse is not only effective, but also safe and truly restorative in the long run. Avoids unintended consequences.
You're listening to OOTO Television, with research by author Paul Bulow.
Okay, so we've covered a lot on the herbal side. Let's shift gears now and talk about a well-known pharmaceutical, ivermectin.
Right, ivermectin. It's been in the news a lot, but it has a legitimate medical history, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was discovered back in 1975. Its development was actually awarded a Nobel Prize, which tells you something. It's genuinely been called a wonder drug for treating various parasitic infestations, initially in animals, then approved for humans in '87.
How does it actually work against parasites?
It's quite clever, really. It basically messes with the nerve and muscle functions of worms and insects. It binds to specific channels, glutamate-jaded chloride channels in their cells. This leads to paralysis and ultimately death for the parasite.
And it's generally safe for us.
At the correct therapeutic doses, yes. Primarily because it doesn't usually cross the blood-brain barrier in mammals very easily. So it targets the parasites more specifically without causing major issues in our central nervous system most of the time.
What are its proven medical uses, the ones it's actually approved for?
It's on the WHO's list of essential medicines, which is significant. The FDA has approved it for several things. For worm infections, it's actually the drug of choice for strongyloidiasis. That's a type of roundworm infection.
Okay, drug of choice. What else?
It's widely recommended for river blindness, onchocerciasis, and lymphatic filariasis elephantiasis, especially the type caused by Wuchereria bancrofti. Also used for ascariasis, and sometimes combined with another drug, albendazole, for whipworm.
You mentioned combining it with albendazole.
Yes, they work synergistically. Ivermectin paralyzes the worms, and albendazole messes with their metabolism. The combination is more effective than either alone for certain infections. The European Medicines Agency even supports this combo for soil-transmitted worms in people over 5.
So, effective against worms. What about mites and insects?
Yeah, it's used there too. It's a key treatment for scabies, that itchy condition caused by mites. Studies show it can be more effective than topical permethrin for mass treatments, usually given as 2 oral doses to catch both the live mites and the one hatching from eggs.
2 doses, okay. What else?
Head lice, pubic lice, it can be used orally or topically for those. And interestingly, it's used to treat rosacea and blepharitis and eyelid inflammation because those conditions are often linked to tiny Demodex mites.
So its use against actual parasites is pretty well established and broad.
Undeniably. It has legitimate, important medical applications for specific parasitic conditions.
Okay, but now we have to address the elephant in the room, the recent controversy and misinformation. This is the big contrary point, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and we need to be crystal clear here. Despite its proven value for parasites, the claims that ivermectin is beneficial for treating or preventing COVID-19 are simply not supported by credible scientific evidence.
Not supported. That's putting it mildly based on what health authorities say.
Exactly. Major health organizations globally, the US FDA, the CDC, the European Medicines Agency, the WHO, they have all explicitly advised against using ivermectin for COVID-19 outside of properly conducted clinical trials.
And there are real dangers to misusing it, right?
Absolutely. The doses needed to even start inhibiting the SARS-CoV-2 virus in a lab dish are incredibly high, potentially up to 35 times higher than the maximum dose approved for treating parasites in humans. Taking doses like that leads straight to ivermectin poisoning.
What does ivermectin poisoning look like?
It's serious.
Yeah.
The CDC warns of symptoms like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dangerously low blood pressure, hypotension, confusion, visual hallucinations, seizures, coma, and even death.
That's terrifying. And people were using animal versions.
Yes, tragically. There was a significant increase in calls to poison control centers because people were misusing ivermectin products intended for livestock, leading to severe overdoses. It highlights the extreme danger of self-medicating based on misinformation.
Are there other safety concerns even with approved uses?
Yes. There's limited data on its use in young children, generally avoided under 5 years old or under 15 kilograms, because their blood-brain barrier isn't fully developed, raising risks of nervous system side effects. Safety during pregnancy is also not well established.
So even this wonder drug has very specific uses, limitations, and significant risks if misused.
Precisely. It really underscores the point that whether it's a pharmaceutical or a powerful natural remedy, it must be used correctly for the right reasons, ideally with professional guidance. There's no such thing as a completely harmless intervention, especially when used inappropriately.
What an incredible journey we've been on today, just exploring the potential, the sheer power of herbal remedies for parasitic issues, for pancreatic health.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? From validating these ancient traditions with modern science, it's clear the plant kingdom offers just remarkable support for our health.
And having that verifiable proof, we talked about eugenol's direct impact, wormwood's effectiveness, all those other herbs supporting detox and detox. It really empowers you, doesn't it? Gives you real knowledge.
Absolutely. We really hope this exploration encourages you, the listener, to consider the power that's available in nature. But, and it's a big but, always approach it with education, with careful practice, and ideally with professional guidance.
Yeah, that idea of building your own apothecary from a garden, it's inspiring, but it's a journey that has to start with knowledge and really responsible action.
What truly stands out for me, though, is just this enduring wisdom that seems woven into nature itself. It offers these pathways to health that feel both incredibly ancient and somehow really cutting edge at the same time.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets does the earth hold for our well-being?
Makes you think.